Morning, Colonel Nelson.
Morning, Kim. Kim, I'd like to meet an old friend of mine, Sam Gibson, Kim Shane.
Oh, my pleasure, sir. Howdy.
Sam here rode with Mosby.
Why, is that a fact? Of course, we all know about Colonel Mosby.
He's going into the general store business here in Crawford. Just as soon as we can find a good location for him.
Now, hold on, Boyd.
Colonel Nelson.
This town ain't big enough for another store. I got along with you in the past, but I'm not going to stand here and let you do this.
Sorry I said that, Kim. Because now my friend here won't have to look around for a new location. He can just take over this one. I want you out of town by sunset.
You've gone too far this time, Colonel. I ain't going to take your threats. What about my family, my things? I can't leave that soon, I can't.
I guess I didn't think of that, Kim. I'll give you till morning.
From out of the West, Dick Powell, Zane Gray Theater.
I'd like to say a few words about Texas. Texas Rangers, that is. In 1826, when the Rangers were organized, the white Stetson hat was the only uniform issued. Now, in case you're worried, he bought the rest of his clothes. The Rangers were originally formed to fight the Comanche. And in order to qualify, a man had to ride like the wind, trail like an Indian, and shoot like an outlaw. They were called the Western Minutemen. Of course, the Texans put a stop to that when they learned Paul Revere had to ride for help. The Ranger was armed with a rifle, a brace of pistols, a hunting knife, and 50 rounds of ammunition. He was literally the B-17 of the desert. Texas history records some fantastic stories about the Rangers. For instance, in 1907, James Dunaway was sent to Groverton to stop a riot. One Ranger, mind you. In the fight that ensued, he was shot 19 times. Nevertheless, he sent a wire to the governor which read, "Riot stopped, shot to pieces, nothing serious." In our story this week, Badge of Honor, we'll learn more about the courage of the Texas Ranger.
Hoby! Oh, by golly! Hoby Gilman, home from the wars. How are you, kid?
You mean they haven't carried you up the hill yet?
Oh, no, I'm too mean for him. Say, Hoby, come on, have a drink with me.
No, I gotta go see my sister.
Oh, Nora'll be there 10 minutes from now. Come on, have a drink.
Well, I could use one.
Did you just get in?
An hour ago, I was still in Arkansas.
Well, the place has changed quite a bit since you left, huh?
Yeah, a lot of things different.
What's that you got there? A new kind of weapon or something?
Oh, that's a handy kind of doodad. I picked that up in Tennessee.
Well, it's sure good to have you back, boy.
Well, it goes double.
First time the colonel asked you to stop writing about him. Now he's telling you.
You go tell your boss I'll write as I please, as long as I own this paper.
Oh, this, it wasn't too bad. But we hear a couple of copies got passed around up the state capitol. Now me and the boys got to ride up there and make sure this latest bunch of lies doesn't get in the wrong hands.
Don't get mixed up in anything, boy.
Now look here, Hendricks.
You're not gonna let him get away with that kind of...
No, we're telling you.
Stay out of it.
And for the last time.
Morning, Sheriff. Kind of late for the first one, ain't it?
That ain't funny, Charlie. This is a friend of mine.
No offense, Sheriff. I know what you want. How about your friend?
Right. Here's to having you back, Hoby. What's going on, Jeff? That badge lose some of its shine?
Things has changed since you left, boy.
Well, it ain't hard to see.
War, new government, things has changed a lot.
The look on the town, maybe. What about you?
I'm getting old, Hoby. I want to get older.
Yeah? But what happened out there is you're a sheriff. Still your job to see people don't get shoved around.
Like I said, things has changed.
I'd like to meet your friend, Jed. Colonel Boyd Nelson. Always a pleasure to meet a friend of the sheriff's here.
Hoby Gilman.
Mighty proud to know you, Mr. Gilman. I see by your clothes that you was engaged in the recent conflict.
That's right.
Cavalry?
Hmm.
Well, then we've got something in common. I had the privilege of serving under Billy Wing myself. Who were you with?
Forrest.
Ah. Were you with him at Selma when he met Wilson? That was a terrible thing. Terrible. My heart went out to you men and the general when I heard about that skirmish.
Skirmish? We got the tar knocked out of us.
Mr. Gilman, I noticed that although your clothes are issue, there doesn't seem to be any insignia on them.
Well, I took them off.
May I ask why?
Because the war is over. It's done. We lost.
I don't know what your rank was, Mr. Gilman, but it's obvious that you're not acquainted with the facts surrounding the disaster at Appomattox. I'm talking to you. The Confederacy didn't lose the war, Mr. Gilman. They did not lose it because they never had a chance to fight it. We were sold out. You hear me? Sold out.
Well, what's the difference? It's over.
You're not so wrong about that, Mr. Gilman. It's not over. Now, perhaps the guns are broken up and the cannon smashed and the horse is dead. But the free will of the South is still alive.
Well, if they start it again, they're going to have to fight it without me.
I have a feeling, Mr. Gilman, that they could have done that in the first place.
Do you mind if I finish my drink?
Not at all. Go right ahead. And then I think perhaps you better move on. I have the feeling that Crawford isn't the town for a man like you. No, let him go. I've seen his kind before. We won't have any trouble with him.
No.
I don't know whether I'm seeing a ghost or what.
Well, you got a pinch coming if you like.
Hoby Gilman, you can't fool me. I know you. Don't look so dumb. I know he's out there. Harry? Come on.
No, I don't.
Harry, I know you're there. I've been waiting for you for 5 years. This is no time to joke.
Honey, don't.
Tell him to stop playing. Tell him it's not funny anymore. Hoby? I didn't even know. Just this morning I was thinking about you. Just this morning. I didn't even know. I didn't even know.
Go ahead, honey. Go ahead and cry. Get my help.
Here now. What about these? Thanks, Rob. I gotta go. I'll be late.
All right. Here's a penny for some licorice after school.
Gee, Mom, thanks.
Couldn't tell him. Not yet. You want cream in your coffee?
No, Black.
Well, it's good. We don't have any. Chow, it's hot.
Ooh, that looks good.
Well, now that you're back, you got any plans?
No, not yet.
You're not going back with the Rangers?
No.
I thought you
Honey,
were.
I've had enough of guns and enough of killing. Well, maybe I'd go over to the Panhandle and see if I could find some grazing land, maybe try to build up a herd.
Never pictured you as a rancher.
Well, I can get along with cows.
People around here are going to be mighty disappointed. We need your help. Do you see what's happened to Crawford?
You mean the good colonel?
Yes.
From what I saw in town last night, the people of Crawford don't mind very much what's going on.
That's not true. He says he's trying to revive the Confederacy. What he's really trying to do is gain enough power to have his own state, not for the South either. It's for the glory and profit of Colonel Boyd Nelson.
People know that. Why don't they do something about it?
They won't let them. Every time there's any sign of a protest meeting, he has his men break it up.
Nora, if and when the people of this town decide to do something, they'll find a way. In the meantime, anybody who stood up and tried to push him would wind up carrying his head.
Hello there. Something we can do for you, Ranger?
I'm looking for Boyd Nelson.
I'm Colonel Nelson.
Maybe we better talk inside.
Well, anything you got to say to me, you can say right out here in front of my friend.
All right. Colonel, we want you to come up to Austin and explain some things.
May I ask what thing?
Seems you've been out of line the way you've been doing things down here.
If what you say is true, Ranger, this could be a pretty serious thing.
We've had a lot of reports about people you threw out of town, beat up, a couple of killings.
I don't use a gun.
You had the trigger pulled. It's the same thing.
Well, now, I think we can work this out. Why don't we sit down and talk it over?
Talking's not part of my job. I came to take you back. I can drag you if that's the way you want it.
No, thanks. Get his badge. He was a representative of the Yankee government that's taken over your state. Here's his sign, the sign of oppression. Now, you all know what I stand for. A free South under its own flag. Now, just so there'll be no mistake, I want to go on record now, in front of you, my friend. I'll kill any Yankee badge wearer who comes down here and tries to tell we Southerners how to live. I'll kill him because it's my duty to the Confederacy. I swore it on a Bible when they made me an officer in that army. All right. Anybody here who wants to wear this badge? How about it? Any Yankee lovers in town? All right, there it is. Any man who picks it up better have his goodbyes said. Well, I could use a drink. Imagine some of you here feel the same way. I'm buying. Now let's go.
Getting courage out of a bottle, Jed?
Where you been?
Walking. I had some thinking to do.
Time I took care of the ranger's body, you were gone. Nora and me'd been looking for you all over. So you're wearing it, huh?
Got a hole in my shirt.
And I have a hole in your back if anybody sees you.
I figured you'd be there to stop it.
I'm not a hero, boy. I got a wife and 2 kids to think about. They need me.
So do I.
Not to fill your stomach, you don't.
You saw what happened out there. Is that the kind of town you want to bring your kids up in? You used to be quite a man, Jed. There wasn't many things you backed down from.
I tried to tell him what was happening. When he first come to town, I tried to tell him. Didn't matter. Old Jed doesn't know what's going on. Well, the Colonel's a hero. Besides, look at the money he's bringing to Crawford.
I'm asking you once more, Jed, are you going with me?
You asking me to back you up with that kind of a gun? Well, even if I had the guts to pull the trigger, what could I hit with it? Just go away and leave me alone.
Jed, I can't. Hoby, he told me what you did. I hope I'm not too late.
You better go home, Nora.
Not unless you come with me, I'm not.
I can't do it.
Oh, Hoby, please, please.
This morning you were all for me doing something about Nelson. Now, what do you want?
I only want to live in peace. Is that too much to ask?
So did your husband. And so do I. That's mostly why we went to war. Like you said, he might have been able to do something about this mess if he'd have got back. I don't want to put on a badge again, but somebody's got to wear it so that people can live the way they want to, without getting shot.
But not alone, Hoby. I never wanted you to do it alone.
Don't worry, Nora. He ain't gonna be alone. It'll keep. There you are, boy.
I don't wear a gun anymore, Jed.
Are you crazy?
Yeah, that may be. But I'm doing this my way. Where's Nelson?
Mister, you're crazy.
I'm looking for Nelson. Now, don't get in the way.
Well, he went to the stable. He went over to see a new horse he just had sent up from Nogedoshi's.
What do you think? I'm going to take you.
Oh, wait a minute. You put a bullet right through that badge.
He said he doesn't carry a gun.
He's got one.
When I want him alive, he's going to Austin.
Oh. Here, you better take this then.
No.
I told you he carries a gun.
Well, I don't. Now, look, you're going to need that. I'm going up to the front of the stable and get his attention. You go around the back. You should be able to get to him before there's any shooting.
You can't do that. You'll never get away with it.
Well, I hope I can. What kind of gun he carry?
2-shot Derringer.
I can spit straight and it'll shoot.
Inside 20 feet, don't try. Well, all right, let's try it. At least we got one break. His men are out of town.
All except Tim Doherty.
Yeah. You keep an eye out for him. You see the colonel, Tim's not far away. Toby, I don't know how this is going to end. Maybe I don't much care, but there's one thing I want you to know, and that... What? Thanks.
Well, now, look at the new ranger come to town.
Don't get in the road.
Somebody in town know how to spell your name? The colonel likes to have it right on the headstone.
If I have to tell you again, you're not going to be able to answer. You know the roads out of Crawford. Take one of them.
He ain't wearing no gun.
Nobody going up against the colonel and got away with it.
I guess he wants to die young.
Nelson! Colonel Nelson!
What is it? I'm busy.
It's me, Colonel Hoby Gilman.
I'm taking you to Austin for killing a ranger.
I didn't kill him.
You gave the order.
I guess you didn't hear what I said about men who wear badges.
I heard. You coming out?
I told you yesterday, Gilman. Crawford wasn't the place for you. Gilman, you're just being a fool. You can't buck the will of a whole town. I'll sit down with you, Gilman. You got a grievance, we can work it out. You out there, you hear me? This is the colonel talking. I want this man to be locked up by the sheriff. Now take him and lock him up.
Now, where do you think you're going?
That's far enough, Gilman. I'm telling you, Gilman, I'll kill you. I'll kill you.
Go ahead, Phillips. You want it in.
Look out, Hoby!
You all right, boy?
Yeah, I guess.
We better get them down to the jail. Then we'll set up a welcoming committee for his riders when they get back.
That shouldn't be too hard. I figure the town is on our side now.
Took something like this. Hey, Hoby, you gonna keep that badge?
I'd like to keep the same one, but I guess it doesn't make any difference.
I don't suppose. How about that gun belt I got back at my office? I want you to have that. If you're gonna keep that, you'll need the other. They kind of go together.
you.